There are certain weeks in golf where the forecast becomes just as important as the leaderboard. Not because conditions decide the winner on their own, but because they reshape who suddenly fits the moment best. And heading into the weekend at PGA National, that conversation naturally brings Aaron Rai into focus. In my analysis, Rai isn't simply another name sitting within reach of the leaders, he's the kind of player whose profile tends to become more relevant when the environment gets unpredictable. With weather expected to play a role, the tournament could shift from a pure scoring contest into something more about control and discipline, and that's where Rai's strengths start to stand out. Before we go deeper into what this scenario could mean, if you enjoy golf coverage that looks beyond the leaderboard and explores how conditions and strategy shape outcomes, make sure to subscribe to Daily Golf News and leave a like. It really helps keep these deeper breakdowns coming. From a performance standpoint, Rai's positioning entering the weekend is solid. He sits a few shots back but well within range, and statistically his game profile suggests sustainability rather than volatility. Strong tee-to green numbers and consistency off the tee give him a foundation that tends to hold up when courses become more demanding. But what makes this situation particularly interesting, in my opinion, is the stylistic angle. Rai's methodical approach and comfort playing in tougher conditions have historically been assets. His previous success in a weather-affected event reinforces the idea that he doesn't just survive when conditions deteriorate, he can actually gain ground. And at a venue like PGA National, where momentum can flip quickly, that adaptability can quietly become a competitive advantage. Zooming out, I also think this storyline highlights something broader about tournament dynamics. When weather enters the equation, the balance of power often shifts away from pure shot-making toward patience and course management. Players who embrace that rhythm rather than fight it tend to climb the board, and Rai fits that mold extremely well. Of course, being in position and capitalizing on it are two very different challenges. The weekend will test whether he can convert a favorable setup into a genuine run at the title. And that's where the intrigue lies, not just in how he plays, but in whether the conditions create the kind of environment where his strengths translate into real momentum. Because if he does make a move, it wouldn't feel like a surprise in the traditional sense. It would feel like a scenario unfolding exactly as the course and the weather intended. So as the tournament heads into its decisive phase, the question isn't only who leads, it's who is best equipped to handle what's coming. And in my view, Aaron Rai is one of the players whose game could become more relevant with every shift in the conditions. Do you see Rai as the type of player who thrives when tournaments turn into survival tests, or do you think the leaderboard will hold steady regardless of the weather? And if you enjoy this kind of fan-to-fan analysis, where we connect performance with context, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. See you in the next one.